Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something straight up. How bad do you want to win this week? I'm not talking about some new week, new me Instagram post. I'm talking about locking in laser, focused with a no matter what kind of mindset. Because let me tell you something. Your future is watching how you show up this week. Not next year, not next month. This week. Now I get it. Life be liffin', bills piling up, people draining you, distractions all around. But here's the truth. If you don't get control of this week will control you. And if you let this week run you 7 days from now, you'll still be stuck in the same spot, wondering why nothing ever changes. So sit down, lock in, and give me your full attention, because by the end of this message, you won't just know how to succeed this week. You'll be guaranteed to succeed if you apply what I'm about to tell you. Everybody wants success, but not everybody is willing to make the decision that leads to it. That's the secret right there. Not a formula, not a trick, not some shiny app. Just a real decision. A lot of folks confuse planning with deciding. They spend hours creating goals, writing to-do lists, even setting alarms for 5:00 a.m. wake-ups. And none of it sticks. Why? Because they never made the asterisk decision asterisk to succeed. They made a suggestion to themselves, not a demand. See, a plan sounds nice. It gives you a sense of control. But a decision shifts your soul. A decision pulls you out of bed when the plan feels too hard. A decision makes you do the work asterisk, even when it hurts asterisk. That's the part people skip. They think success is about knowing more. Nah, it's about committing more. It's about burning the exit doors behind you and saying, I ain't going back. You want to succeed this week. Don't start with what you're gonna asterisk do asterisk. Start with who you're gonna asterisk be asterisk. Are you gonna be someone who finally shows up for yourself? Someone who honors your word, not just to your boss or your family, but to yourself? You've broken too many promises to you. That's why your self-confidence keeps taking hits. Every time you say you're gonna do something and you don't, it chips away at your belief. So this week, don't play with it. Decide that every move you make is proof of your choice to rise. If you say you're going to wake up early, do it. If you say you're going to hit the gym, show up. If you say you're going to close 3 deals, block out every distraction until you do. You've got to let your actions speak so loud that your doubts can't be heard over the volume of your discipline. Now here's the part most people won't tell you. The decision to succeed this week is going to feel uncomfortable. It's not going to feel like motivation. It's going to feel like resistance. That's how you know you're on the right track. If it feels too easy, you probably chose comfort over growth. But if it scares you a little, if it challenges your usual rhythm, that's the right kind of pressure. That's the kind of discomfort that molds champions. People want to make safe decisions and get dangerous results. It doesn't work like that. This ain't no warm-up lap. This is your week, your moment, and you can't let it pass you by with passive energy. That thing you're afraid to start it anyway. That call you've been putting off, make it. That business idea you keep shelving, dust it off and move. Because when you truly decide, everything else adjusts to meet your level. Life stops playing you and starts responding to you. Let me tell you something real. You don't have to wait until next year to change your life. You don't even have to wait until next month. You can shift everything in the next 7 days. Not because you're doing 100 things, but because you're doing one thing with everything you've got deciding. Deciding to be consistent, deciding to be disciplined, deciding to stop apologizing for dreaming bigger. You think successful people are smarter than you. No, they just made a decision and didn't back down when it got inconvenient. They treat their goals like oxygen. Non-negotiable. You've got the same power, you've got the same potential, but you've got to use it. You've got to stop rehearsing failure and start expecting results. And that expectation starts with one choice, one decision to show up like your life depends on it, because it does. Excuses are the soft killers of greatness. They don't come loud, they don't come sharp. They come dressed up as logic. They come disguised as reasons, but they rob you of everything you could have been. And if you don't eliminate your excuses before the week begins, they will wrap themselves around every day and choke the life out of your potential. See, a lot of folks wait until Monday morning to decide how they feel. They wait until their alarm clock screams, until the weight of the day hits their chest, until the weather looks gloomy, until they scroll their phone and see something discouraging. That's too late. That's way too late. You have to eliminate excuses before they even have a chance to speak. Before Monday hits, you have to make a decision that nothing will stop you. Not your mood, not your environment, not your doubts, not your past. Because once the week starts, you're not making decisions anymore. You're executing the ones you already made. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your preparation. Excuses always sound good in your own voice. That's what makes them dangerous. I didn't sleep well. I had a tough weekend. My mind's not right. Nobody supports me. Sound familiar? You've said them. I've said them. We've all said them. But here's the truth. The world doesn't pause for your pain. The clock doesn't stop ticking because you're tired. Bills don't stop coming because you had a rough day. That's not cold. That's real. And if you want real results, you have to deal with life as it is, not as you wish it were. That means eliminating every excuse before it has a chance to grow roots. That means deciding on Sunday night, or sooner, that you're not leaving any space for negotiation with your old habits. You don't negotiate with laziness. You don't reason with fear. You tell them where the door is and you get to work. People think successful folks have less problems. That's false. They've just trained themselves not to accept excuses as valid currency. They know that every time you make an excuse, you make a withdrawal from your self-belief. And when you do that long enough, your confidence account goes bankrupt. That's why some of y'all don't even try anymore. You've spent so long justifying why it's not the right time, why it's too hard, why you're not ready, that now your own brain doesn't believe a word you say. You've got to rebuild that trust, and that starts with shutting the door on every excuse before the week begins. Don't wait to feel like it. Feelings are fickle. You've got to have your mind made up so strong that even on your worst day, you still move. Excuses are clever. They'll make you think you're being honest with yourself when really you're just stalling. They'll convince you to rest when you haven't earned it, to pause when you haven't even started, to quit when you're still in the first round. But when you eliminate excuses, you create a clear space for execution. There's no fog, there's no maybe later, there's only action, only forward. That's where power comes from, not from perfection, but from consistency, and consistency dies in the presence of excuses. So before the week even begins, you've got to clean house. Write down your usual excuses, then burn them, figuratively or literally, whatever it takes to make it real. Don't carry them into Monday. Don't let them ride in your car, sit in your meetings, or whisper in your ear when things get hard. Because if they're still in the room, they will take over, and you don't have time for that this week. Your week is listening to you before it even starts. Every thought you think, every word you say, every story you tell yourself, it all sets the tone before the first sunrise hits Monday morning. Most people live their week on defense. They wake up reacting to alarms, to texts, to bad news, to other people's moods. They don't realize that when you don't speak to your week starts speaking for you, and it never says what you want it to say. It talks back with chaos, confusion, frustration, and wasted time. But when you speak to your week first, with intention and authority, you begin to design it, not survive it. That's a different level of living. That's when you stop drifting and start driving. You've got to understand this: words create worlds. What you say out loud and what you whisper to yourself is either building your future or tearing it down before it gets a chance to grow. You say things like, "This week's going to be so stressful," and guess what? It is. You say, "I'm not ready," and boom, everything feels harder. You say, "I'll probably mess this up," and suddenly your confidence disappears. Your week mirrors your mouth, and your mouth follows your mind. So you've got to flip the script before the script flips you. You've got to wake up and say, "This week I'm in control. This week I win. This week I outwork my doubt, outtalk my fear, and outgrow my past." Say it before you feel it. Speak it until you see it. Declare it until it becomes your daily atmosphere. Some people think it's weird to talk to yourself, but let me tell you something. It's even weirder to let life push you around while you stay quiet. Champions talk to themselves. Winners program their week with powerful language before problems ever show up. You've got to be your own coach. You've got to say what you need to hear, not wait for someone else to say it. Because if you don't start your week with direction, distraction will start it for you. You'll be pulled into everyone else's priorities. You'll be drained by everything but your own mission. That's how people lose momentum. They never claimed their week at the start. They let Monday drag them instead of declaring what they came to do. You don't need a perfect life to speak powerfully. You just need a made-up mind. You might have messes to clean up. You might be behind on your goals. You might be scared, tired, even overwhelmed. But that doesn't disqualify you from authority. It qualifies you to use your voice. You speak your week into alignment. You command focus. You command peace. You command clarity. When you walk into your job, your business, your home, you carry that energy that says, "I already told this week how it's going to go." People will feel it. Situations will respond to it. Doors will start to open, not because of your resume, but because of your resolve. There's something about a person who speaks with conviction, who doesn't let the external noise change their internal narrative. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right vibe. Don't wait for Friday to feel proud. Start Sunday night or Monday morning and speak to your week with purpose. Set your tone. Don't let anyone else write your story for the next 7 days. Because the truth is, your week can be a masterpiece or a mess. But the pen is already in your hand. Waiting until you're ready is the fastest way to stay stuck. That's the lie most people fall for. This idea that you need to feel fully prepared before you take a step. Let me just fix this one thing first. Let me wait until the timing's right. Let me get my mind clear. Weeks go by, months go by. Some folks wait years, and while they wait, life keeps moving. Opportunities come and go. Time doesn't stop and say, "Oh, they're not ready yet, let's wait for them." No, it moves forward with or without you. But here's the truth. Motion creates readiness. You don't get ready and then go. You go, and in the going, you get stronger, sharper, wiser. You grow into the thing you're scared of by facing it head on, not by standing on the sidelines rehearsing your potential. People think successful folks were always confident, that they had everything figured out from day one. That's a myth. Most of the people you look up to started with shaking hands, nervous hearts, and voices full of doubt. But what they didn't do was stay still. They moved, they stepped, they acted, and in that motion they learned. They failed forward, they adjusted, they discovered they were more capable than they thought. But none of that happens if you wait for clarity, comfort, or perfection. You've got to move with what you've got, even if all you have is a made-up mind and a little faith. Because movement unlocks momentum, and momentum, that's what makes you unstoppable. Let me say this to you straight. Your fear ain't going anywhere until you prove to it that you don't answer to it. You don't defeat fear with more thinking. You defeat it with action. Bold, imperfect, messy action. Do it scared. Do it shaky. Do it with doubt still sitting on your shoulder. But do it, because once you start, you rob fear of its power. You show yourself that what you thought was a wall was really just fog. It looked thick from a distance, but when you walk through it, it clears. That's how growth feels. Uncomfortable, uncertain, and undeniable. A lot of y'all have dreams that are still in your notebook, still in your mind, still on your vision board, and the only reason they haven't come alive is because you're still sitting on the sidelines waiting for the go signal. Let me tell you something powerful. The go signal is you. You don't need a green light from the world. You don't need everyone to approve. You don't need your circumstances to line up perfectly. You just need to get in motion. Start the business with what you have. Pitch the idea with the voice you've got. Hit the gym even if you feel out of shape. Post the content even if nobody's clapping yet. You've got to start before you feel qualified, because your confidence comes from consistency, not perfection. Every step you take tells the universe, I'm serious. And when you move with that kind of determination, doors open. Not because they were locked before, but because they don't open for people who sit still. They open for movers, for doers, for people who walk toward the thing they want instead of waiting for it to land in their lap. You've got to become allergic to hesitation. You've got to stop flirting with your future and marry the process that gets you there. Because motion is magnetic, it attracts the right people, the right opportunities, the right ideas, but none of it finds you if you're standing still. Energy is your currency, and every day you're either investing it wisely or wasting it recklessly. Most people don't lose because they're not smart, not talented, or not disciplined. They lose because they keep giving their energy to things, people, and problems that have no return. Every text you respond to out of guilt, every argument you let steal your peace, every distraction you entertain just because you're bored, that's energy leaking. And here's the thing, you don't have unlimited energy. You've got a battery just like a phone, and if you don't charge it, protect it, and manage it, don't be surprised when it dies before the week is over. You can't expect to crush goals while letting your energy get hijacked by negativity, nonsense, and noise. The people who succeed consistently aren't the ones who grind the hardest for one day. They're the ones who protect their energy every day. They know that who they give their attention to is just as important as what they do. They don't let gossip in. They don't respond to everything. They don't engage in conversations that drain instead of build, and they don't feel bad about it. That's called maturity. That's called clarity. You can't grow while still trying to please people who are okay staying where they are. and you definitely can't move forward while carrying everyone else's emotional weight like it's your job. It's not. Your job is to protect your peace, your purpose, your power. Because if your energy is off, everything is off. Your attitude, your decisions, your focus, your discipline. It all crumbles when you're tired in the wrong way. Some of you are exhausted, and it's not because you're working hard. It's because you're leaking energy in 100 directions that don't serve your mission. You're checking your phone 75 times a day. You're replaying conversations that already happened. You're trying to change people who don't want to change. You're worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. That's emotional bankruptcy. You're overdrafting your own peace, and it's costing you the focus you need to win this week. That's why you've got to be ruthless about your energy. Not ruthless. That means creating boundaries, not explanations. That means saying no, not this week, without guilt. That means not answering every call just because your phone rings. Not every ping deserves your presence. Not every person gets to walk into your mental space uninvited. You've got to wake up each morning and treat your energy like a sacred thing, because it is. You don't owe it to everyone. You don't have to give people access just because they knew you back then. You're not who you used to be, and your energy can't be spent like it was in high school, or last year, or even last month. Every new level requires tighter energy control. Champions don't spend time fighting small battles. They don't let people who aren't building anything drain what they've been working on. They stay locked in, laser focused, because they understand this one simple truth: where your energy goes, your life flows. If you give it to drama, you live in chaos. If you give it to purpose, you live in progress. This week, your energy will either elevate you or exhaust you, and that choice starts before the day even begins. You've got to decide what you will and will not entertain. You've got to be honest about who gets to be close to you and what kind of conversations you allow. You can't keep wondering why you're stuck while letting everything around you drain the very fuel you need to fly. Energy is everything. It's your time, your focus, your power, your life force. If you waste it, you weaken your future. If you guard it, you grow into everything you were meant to be.